Unmute that. Yep, all working good. Now, all right, let's switch. Time is good. All right, got a lot of stuff here. Add this to stream. Good. Let me quickly come up. All right, welcome everyone. This is Rap Raven, your host for today's 43rd Black Betterment Broadcast. All right, gonna put a smiley face in the forum. Just so those who are new, this is a Black Betterment Broadcast. It's live. People are welcome to join at some point to add to the direction of the show, but hopefully we record a constructive show where people in the future time can download and listen and all that good stuff. All right. So what we're going to do is go through some basic house rules and then we'll introduce the show. But let me see if I can make this screen a bit smaller, guys, because usually I get people who jump on, and because I've got so much videos, I miss them because of the interface. For those who don't know, I actually make apps for a living. I can say that they need to work on the UX here. Well, all right, cool. All right, let's do that. Okay, that's not the best. To be honest, let me put that over here. It's not the best. That's not the best tool. All right, make it smaller, make it bigger. Very bad design. What are you going to do? Huh? What are you going to do? You know, can't help them all. All right, cool. This is going to have to do for now. All right, cool. So let's go through the tradition. Surely we can get more space there. That's just, all right, if I do, let me do it that way. Yeah, I found a way that makes sense. Excellent. Cool. Let's go. All right. So after much research, I've unfortunately concluded that currently, Black people are collectively inadequate. This is a problem, a very big challenge that we face when it comes to being individuals. Amazing. Hands down, round of applause, lovely jubbly, all that good stuff. However, when it comes to working as a team for the collective betterment, there is some challenges. So hopefully we can iron that out. Find codes of conducts and ways of operating that might fix that. Yep. So see what we can do. All right. What we do. So naturally, we're going to invite people onto the show. When we do, we try to uphold the 4D values. Very challenging when people have passions to uphold this, as you might see throughout the weeks. But we want to try to stick to it. And there's 4 pillars, the 4 tendencies that we want to maintain. That's discipline, dedication, dignity, and discernment. Today we'll be using discernment extra today, hopefully. So hopefully remember these skills when we're talking. I'll remind people as time goes by. Well, these are the values we want to uphold when we're communicating and trying to find solutions. All right, and also when we're talking, we actually want to use descriptive language rather than derogatory language if possible. So these are some of the words that's used. I'm gonna have to expand on this in the weeks to come, just to make sure that we're not using any derogatory terms. The reason we don't use derogatory terms isn't because it's confusing or we're gonna cry or anything like that. What it is there's certain topics that really erupt people's passion, and if people are just swearing left, right, and center, we don't know whether they're going to be erupted, and then we don't know what might contribute to triggering. And sometimes what happens is there's a good topic on, people use certain kind of tones and names, and then people use that as a backdoor to go, you said this, and then we can't actually find solutions for the potential challenge. So it's just if it's possible, let's try not to. I know it's hard sometimes because of the culture some people are in, but this is what it is. So if we can, let's do that. All right. So Black Betterment is a lifestyle, for those who don't know. Let me skip one. What is Black Betterment? Black people helping Black people on Black issues for betterment. That means Black Betterment is a lifestyle. Voila. Okay. All out the way. Now we're going to go to our actual topic at hand. No, we're not. We're going to read the disclaimer first for a new edition here. Pick up the panel. Copyright disclaimer. This is sometimes we use stuff that might be on the internet. We want to make sure it's not really for profit. It's more for news and stuff. But let's read this anyway. Copyright disclaimer under the Section 107 of Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So if you see we use anything, it isn't because we're trying to create whatever. It's because we want to we want to, what's the word? We want to what do they say here? For criticism, comment, use supporting, scholarship, and research. So voila, all right. So what is today's topic? Well, let's go over it. So for those who don't know, let me see if I can find more research on the internet now, because make sure I've got everything there. Replied. Make sure I send the messages out. Sometimes I send out to the groups and people shout things like, "Where's the turn that off? Where's the link? Where's the link?" They say. All right. Where? Give me 14 seconds. Hold on. This is what happens, guys. You tell them where, but they don't know. Just gonna give 17 seconds to find this link. If anyone can give me the countdown, that'd be great. All right, here we go. This is the link. All right, there you go. Make sure everyone has it. I mean, you try to make it as accessible as possible, but everyone's using old technology, or some people are not used to it. There you go, my friend. You're welcome to join. And anyone else wants it, hopefully they'll go to the same place. No more messages. Good. I'm online, so I can't really do it. All right, excellent, cool. So, what I was saying, yeah. So, if you don't know the news, Bill Cosby has been released. I'm trying to find out what his actual. Is he him saying thank you? All right. I'm trying to find out if because a lot of people might not actually know why he was actually put in jail. I'm trying to find out what it was, the actual terminology, and I'm sure you guys can research and throw that in the actual in the group. You know, you're trying to find something, right? And then you got all these ads popping up, trying to find the term. You're trying to find, and it just doesn't happen. You think, why don't I actually take more time to actually research this? But when you do so many things, you can't do all things, can you? So that's one thing to find out. But either way, Bill Cosby is not in jail anymore, and that's why we're asking: what did Bill Cosby do for the black community? See if we know. And I'm going to do like a small case study, and hopefully you guys can jump in and all that good stuff. Hopefully, and also breaking news: the afro swimming hats have been banned from the Olympics. We're going to research that. Hopefully, you guys can actually chime in more on that later. So let's go through a timeline. Oh, right. So through the timeline, introducing a new black topic a new topic that might help black people. And what it is unfortunately, every time you get maybe constructive black people here or there, historically, what happens is you tend to find they might be in the mainstream, they might be doing constructive stuff. There's such a small number, unfortunately, you can latch onto. And at a certain point, some news article will come out, and some testimony will come out, and it really might, really damage a certain kind of public imagery. And maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. But then, obviously, people on the rope, some people are scared to come forward. Then, you get nervous. So that's to be a psychological process or a social process we can push forward that allows us to benefit when these things happen. And I'm pushing for this idea. So as you guys know, cherry picking is when you suppress evidence of a fallacy of incomplete evidence is the act of pointing to individual cases of data that seem to confirm a particular position while ignoring a significant portion or related and similar cases of data that may contradict that position. So cherry picking is what it sounds like. People, when they do some of their court cases or just in life, they pick things that works best for them. So I'm pushing for the concept of black cherry picking. And I think when it comes to like not knowing people being in court or people being persecuted, if you don't know, I think maybe we could push for the concept of black cherry picking, which I've defined as appreciating and utilizing a black person's logical and beneficial contribution towards the black community whilst disassociated with any acts that are not constructive or negative. So what I'm saying is there's going to be many black people who do wondrous things, and then they might have a news report where they robbed a bank or they kidnap animals or something that's just really bad, and they need to correct that if true, of course. But sometimes it might not be true. Sometimes it might be just, as you know, that when you get constructive black people, sometimes you get a whole array of things coming forward saying that they would steal socks from babies or they would rob candy stores, these kinds of things, which is horrible, and it's not true. Or maybe it is true, and they have to reform, and because being wrong is never strong. But as a collective, we're always looking for people we can like bounce off, people we can get motivated by. So it's most unfortunate when these things happen. So I'm pushing for the concept known as black cherry picking, which allows black people to actually just pick the best parts of black people, really, and disassociate with the stuff that is either negative or yet to be proved negative or whatever. So this is a concept, and when I'll be debating, I'll be using this because I suspect I'll be mentioning things and something. Yes, but this black man who you say has done good things, or this black woman, they also used to, rob banks and all this kind of stuff. So I go, oh yes, I don't pick that. I don't pick that side. I just pick the side where they actually, created banks for black people, and they invented healthy supplements for black people to eat, and they ran a football league where black people could get paid, or whatever it might be, whatever the fantasy story is. Voila, that's what it is. So that's in regards to how that bleeds on to our next topic. Is I've made a list now. Obviously, you guys, and hopefully you guys can jump in with your scholar online scholarship, and you can throw the many more contributions that Bill Cosby might have done to black people. I've listed 3. So the 3 I've listed, there's many more, but I've just listed 3. 1968, Bill Cosby. I don't know if he really was part of the production or producer of this, but he was definitely a host, which went a long way in those days. And there was in America, there was a documentary called Of Black America, and he hosted 2 segments. I think the Black Soldier segment and the Black History Lost, Stolen, Strayed segment. We'll be showing some clips on that, maybe one or 2 minutes in a bit, whatever. And the notes of this is a groundbreaking series, explored various aspects of history and current state of African American community. So that was something that was very not controversial, very constructive. Controversial. Actually, probably was controversial to some aspects, but yeah. All right, okay. So then also in 1972, those who were there have got the online services to go back that far. He created, produced, and hosted an animated television show known as Fat Albert Cosby Kids Show. We'll be looking at some of that intro, and the reason why this is quite significant, because I could be wrong. I'm sure the online scholars will jump in and correct me. But as far as I'm aware, that was the first time an all-black cast was seen in the show. Now, when I say all-black cast, I'm talking, maybe not just the voice actors, but that's the front visuals and the culture. But there definitely was history of cartoons having full black cast. However, those came from like Warner Bros. And Disney and these kind of stuff in like the 40s, 30s, and maybe 50s. A lot of that was actually racist and anti-black. And we will watch maybe one clip. Maybe these things only a minute, so just to show the comparison and all that good stuff. And then obviously in 1984 was probably his biggest contribution that people remember. He co-created the starring sitcom The Cosby Show. Now, the Cosby Show focused on the upper class African American family, predominantly black cast, which was good. And Cosby invited professors, from Howard Medical School, psychiatry and stuff, and as consultants, he paid and he hired. He wanted like psychiatrists to read his script and to make sure that it was constructive, and they tried to stay away from certain characteristics and stereotypes. And I think they even try not to belittle people based upon beliefs and this kind of stuff. Take a give. We're also going to look at maybe some stuff there, and also we're going to compare it to some other, because the Cosby Show wasn't the first all-black show. I want to say there was another name, but it might not be that one, so we have to do some scholarship there. But I'm going to show you some other ones that were around a couple of years earlier, and show you the difference in writing and approach and how that might have had an impact on how people view things. So let's get ready. So we're going to go to first. What should we look at first? So if we look at the order here, let's look at the documentary. This is a small clip of documentary, maybe a minute or so, just all that good stuff while everyone comes in the room. So let's listen to that. Voila. All right. We'll skip any intro there. Not bringing their people in. They're doing a little swing. You could be King Charlie Brown. All right. Black teacher singing to the kids. Very nice.
All right. We'll go to lunch now, and this afternoon we'll continue.
As they go to lunch, we'll see Bill Cosby appears miraculously from behind the table. I'm sure he will. Edit. Excellent. There you go. Kids are leaving to have some food. And in comes who? Start the show. Hurry up, lady. There we go. There he is. Magic. He's going to do his little spiel. Let's have a listen.
No, I could never fit in that. Never get in that at all. This is more like it. Now, what's the whitest thing you know? Whiter than the driven snow, whiter than the whites of your eyes?
White supremacy?
Sugar.
Okay.
Non-integrated, non-black, sweet sugar. But you see, there is a black man in your sugar. His name is Norbert Rillier. Norbert Rillier in 1846 invented a vacuum pan that revolutionized the sugar refining industry. Now, you have to dig to find that fact.
Yes, you did.
It's not much history, but it's still history.
Well, it is.
Now, what do you stand in? In your shoes.
Right.
Now, there's just you and your shoes, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. See, there's a black man standing in your Oxfords with you.
All right.
Sharing your soul and your heel is a man, his name is Jan Ernst Metzelliger. And in 1863, this is a drawing by the kids, Metzelliker invented the machine that made mass-produced shoes possible. Now, you have to dig around for that fact, too. And again, it's not much history, but it's history.
All right. So he goes on and he says more.
Am I coming in clear to California? I mean, is this TV signal driving through a pass in the Sierra Nevada mountains and slipping into San Francisco? Okay, well, I want to thank you, Jim Beckworth. Jim Beckworth, out of St. Louis, hunter, trapper, and honorary chief of the Crow tribe of Indians. We had trouble finding you, Jim. Though you helped open the West, you didn't make the books. Chicago, right here, where the Wrigley building is. Young fellow by the name of Jean-Baptiste de Sable. Jean-Baptiste, he founded Chicago, when he traded with the Indians. And of course, there it is right there at that particular time. It was called Chicago, or Stinking Onion, by the Indians. And de Sable, he didn't even change the name at all. Now you take the Lewis and Clark expedition here, right in there. You'll find a black man named York helping to open the West. Those men are trying to wash the black out of York. That's what you might call historically significant, because a lot of people think we ought to wash white, but we ain't gonna, you see. Texas. Coming to you, Texas, right down the Chisholm Trail, right here. Right down there with 5,000 black cowboys who never made it to the Hollywood Western. Did you know that, huh? In this same group, there was one black outlaw. His name was Deadwood Dick, who claimed his soul brothers were Bat Masterson, Billy the Kid, and Jesse James. Deadwood Dick used to ride into the saloon, order 2 drinks, one for himself and one for his horse. And here's his horse, drinking a shot of red eye with a straw. And how about the 186,000 blacks who fought on the Union side during the Civil War? 38,000 died. How about Teddy Roosevelt's charge up San Juan Hill? It wasn't just the Rough Riders who made it. 4 black regiments went right up with Teddy. They didn't get lost going up the hill. They got lost in the history books. How about the North Pole? Snow White? Well, the first man there was black, Matthew Henson. He spoke Eskimo. And he was Admiral Perry's navigator. And although he made it first to the pole, it never quite made it to the history books. And how about your heart? Can we get there? All right. Daniel Hale Williams first performed open heart surgery successfully. Now, this list could go on forever. Blacks who made it, blacks who made history, but who didn't get into the history text at all. And the strange thing is how little there is about us in the textbooks. Napoleon once said history is a fable agreed upon, and the fable agreed upon up to now is that American history is white on white. But sometimes we did get into the history books. All wrong. Now you take this one. The Growth of the American Republic, 1942 edition. Samuel Eliot Morrison, Henry Steele Commager. Quote, as for.
All right.
This has to do with slavery.
Right there. Yeah, but if you want to see more, you can always request it. I'll give you the link and all that good stuff. So it's just this was talking about the contributions from Bill Cosby, doing the documentaries and stuff, giving some facts. This was back in 1968. Now we're going to swiftly move to the cartoon. Now what we should do now, just to give you some reference, black people wasn't necessarily appeared in cartoons unless it was derogatory. If you go to the Warner Brothers, Disney, who else? Maybe I think Warner Brothers, Disney may be the main ones, but they've got votes, and what they've locked away a lot of their cartoons that were racist. So the only time you would have seen a full black cast of black people was in kind of derogative jokes and stuff. Let's watch 1 2-minute from the Warner Brothers. Your famous intro. This is the only time you saw that in the old days. Cartoon. All right, let's have a quick beat.
Hallelujah. Oh, honey child, what story would you like to have Mammy tell you tonight? It is black.
I think you so hot?
Well, that is a military secret.
All right. That seems to be a very fast version of that. I remember being longer than that, but either way, you see the visual, you see the jokes. Nice skip. Was it? Did I even get the intro?
Oh, honey child, what story would you like to have Mammy tell you tonight?
So just jumping from bit to bit, but either way, you get the gist of it. So that was a kind of visual representation you got from back in the old days. Now this is Bill Cosby's first, and it was the first black produced show. Let me show you the intro. There we go.
Hey, hey, hey.
With the Fat Albert show, I believe.
And I'm gonna sing a song for you. And Bill's gonna show you a thing or two. You'll have some fun now with me and all the gang, learning from each other while we do our thing. Gonna have a good time.
It's Bill Cosby coming at you with music and fun, and if you're not careful, you may learn something before it's done. So let's get ready, okay? Hey, hey, hey.
All right, so that's Bill Cosby's show, the intro there, and it was meant to be educational. Well, it was educational. And here's one episode that is one step. Reverse. Let's go.
Latino, go home.
That's not too cool.
Maybe you'll like this better. Blacks, go home.
Then let me speak my piece. You represent a hate group. You evidently hate everybody and everything.
Look, Tubby, run along before you get hurt.
Now we'll just let you hang there till you're completely drip dry. Or is it dry drip?
Oh yes, 70s comedy. Very good, very good. Now we're gonna look at a show called, I think, is it Stepson and Son? Am I saying that right? Could be saying it right. You know, so I just want to just have a case study of how the type of humor for this comedy that I'm about to play, and we're going to compare it to what would follow in this was like this mid to late 70s, I believe. Well, the Cosby came out in 84, but let's look at the difference in comedy. It was a little stream home. Let me find it. There it is. Let's press play.
Now, that's it. Take the load. What you call me over here for, friend? Sit down. That's it. Take the load off. Let's get it over with, Fred. I don't like being alone in the house with an unmarried man. Listen, Nelson, if we were alone on a raft in the middle of the ocean, I'd rather kiss an octopus in the mouth. I wouldn't want you to kiss me. I'd rather be kissed by a snagger-tooth jackass.
This show is called Stanford and Son. I said Steptoe Son. Just the reason I said that is because it actually is based upon a UK show, but they changed it to be more hip in America and this kind of stuff. So it's Stanford and Son. I don't actually remember seeing this, to be honest, probably before my time, but maybe you guys have seen it more. Who knows?
Well, I'll call St. Louis and get you one. Oh, go kiss your octopus.
Hey, Pop, guess what?
The buzzards are circling over the house.
No, you got company.
Oh, no. The head buzzard is in the house.
Say, Pop, why don't you be nice?
Don't tell him nothing, Lamar. He's gonna have to pay for all his evilness and nastiness. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
Don't sit on the Bible now.
What you doing with the Bible, Fred?
Reading it.
Ain't it funny how even the worst of heathens try to get righteous when they think the Lord is about to tap them on the shoulder?
Listen, Nestor, if I wasn't so sick, I would give you one of these across your ugly lips.
Who you calling ugly, sucker?
I'm calling you ugly. I could stick your face in some dough and make some gorilla cookies.
What's the matter with you two? Why don't you stop it, huh? Oh, hello, Ellen.
Hello, Lamar. Hello, Fred.
Wait, what's the matter, Jess? Are you crazy?
This is the Lord's day, Fred Sanford.
No, it ain't. This is Sunday. This is the day I watch NFL action on TV. And let me tell you something. If you don't get out in front of my TV, gonna be some action in this front room.
You said if the Lord healed you, you'd walk the straight and narrow path. And it's time to take your first step.
That's because it's Sunday. I'm not gonna tell you where I'm putting my first step. But if you don't get out of here, I'm gonna show you.
You are a heathen, Fred Sanford. Oh, senile you.
All right, so it goes on. So, comedy, funny, but you notice that the concept of this kind of comedy was dysfunctional, jokes on each other, that kind of disharmony. It was very funny, well timed. But once again, this was one of the few black shows, if not the only black show, at the time. It painted one kind of picture. I'm trying to find out if there's any, if it was the first black show in America. Can't remember. Probably not. Probably was. Who knows? But it did really good. It did really good. But the reason we're showing it is because we're now going to show, Bill Cosby was aware of how people judge black people and how certain stereotypes would go through, and people would set their clocks by it. So he tried to have a show that was constructive but funny. But like I said, he had psychiatrists and from Harvard Medical School and to consult the show. He would hire them just to make sure that he didn't tap into any kind of subliminal hatred or subliminal education on a negative nature. So let's click on one episode from him, 2 minutes or so. Voila! All right, so you see a very different dynamic there, very different writing system. And this is what I say about when you control, if you get more black people controlling media output, you control a certain narrative, you control a certain tone, and then people gravitate towards that tone. So that's the short. I try to keep it under 15 minutes. Probably failed. Let's go back to press the enter. Voila. So those who joining late, whatever, we're just talking about. Sometimes there's many black people who do constructive things, but they might be, under examination for negative stuff, or they might have done stuff and not been proven stuff. You're going to be the process to find out what is true, what is not true. So what kind of system or method can we have in place to make us, not have to wait and be very edgy about what we can and not say? And I say, let's introduce a concept known as black cherry picking, which is appreciating and utilizing a black person's logical and beneficial contribution towards the black community, whilst disassociating with any acts that are not constructive and negative. Not that I can say there's anything, Bill Cosby has been released, so there's no evidence against him. But I'm sure there's many people who might have different feelings for different way they process information. So it's just having a way that we talk about constructive things people do without having tables fly across the room. All right. So I've done my little intro there. If anyone wants to see anything again, if they come late, let me know. As usual, this show is really a community show. Oops, let me turn my phone down. And as a community show, I've pushed the fantastic link out there. So if anyone wants to jump in and give, there we go, vibrate. Yeah, if anyone wants to jump in and give their 20 pence piece on what constructive things did Bill Cosby do for the black people, and also, as you know, the breaking news is why are afro swimming hats banned from the Olympics? I suspect the people at home will know more than me. What I'm aware of, the area of interest I am, is I think it came out by. Let me see if I can find it. Can I share this? So apparently, let me see if I can do things on the live. So if I let me delete all these to make sure you don't get things that you don't want to see. Okay. Yep, that sounds good. That sounds good. Let me get rid of. No, keep that. All right, cool. Let me go share. So let's look. File share. Stop share for a minute. Yep. Oops, daisy. No, wrong one. Wrong one as usual. Share. Bear with me, family. See if I can share this site window. I think it's this one. Share. Are we live? Yes, we are. Let's make sure we haven't got anything. All right, got all that good stuff. All right, so yeah, so this is Soul Cap. So for those who want to know, Soul Cap, they make caps, and I think some of their caps are being banned from the Olympics. The reason why I came because it's a black-owned brand. The guys are called Michael and Tox, I believe, and they've been best friends for 20 years. When they first went to the gym as teenagers, and they came together to make hats for people to swim, all that good stuff. Well, they've got their stuff, so let's see what their website's saying. So we go to the front page, we click on it, should go. Big hair deserves big care, that's right. All right. Yeah, hair care for the volume, blessed. Yeah, excellent. All right, and then you've got nice models there wearing the hats and all that good stuff. You've got the towels, you've got the, okay, and you've got the pictures. Very nice. So it's black owned, and obviously they've done their thing. Apparently, for some reason, which I suspect you will know more than me, hence when you're going to jump in and let me know, this has been banned from the Olympics. The only thing, not only that, I understand one of the fastest women in the world might be banned from smoking legal substance marijuana. Even though it's legal in the States, I don't know what they've banned her. Another thing, so Olympics is going on. And also, I believe, if you promote Black Lives Matter or any kind of political stuff, you can also be banned. Could be wrong. Looks like that's the same. So that's what's going on there. Let me now click back on. Oh no, I haven't done that. It takes so long. Stop. Share. Where's the screen gone? There needs to be a quicker way of doing this, really, but whatever. All right, so guys, I have done my bit. I do like waffling, but I can waffle forever. But if you guys want to know, I've pushed the link in it. By all means, jump in. And today's topic is what constructive things did Bill Cosby do for black people, and why afro swimming has banned from Olympics. You can jump in and jump on those topics. By all means, you might have other topics that's connected, and maybe you might feel there might be something we should talk about, a different nature. Always welcome. We dedicate at least an hour to hearing what people have to say, trying to find constructive ways. Meanwhile, I do have to stress that if you do come in, one thing we do want to learn is we're going to have people from different opinions and all that good stuff. And with people from different opinions, we want to make sure we practice discipline, dedication, discernment, and dignity, and definitely minimize name calling. Not that we will be doing that here at all, but you never know. Sometimes things become passionate and stuff. So I recommend that we do stuff. Now, in regards as we wait for people to jump in, if they do, I will carry on my spiel about Bill Cosby. So let me go down here. Where's my list? See if we can do some surrounding facts. So yeah, as you would have seen, there was many of the cartoons from the past that had black people in it was all stereotypical. And what I'm aware that I think Bill Cosby would have networked with a company known as Filmation in 1984 to do the no, I'm wrong. 1972 to do the cartoon and the Fire show. Filmation, for those who don't know, they are also responsible for He-Man, the franchise, very big franchise. A funny fun fact: a few years before He-Man, the character that was kind of based, that He-Man kind of got most of his traits from a Filmation standpoint, the company, was a character called Black Star, if I remember correctly. And even though his name's Black Star, they originally designed him so I read somewhere in the actual Filmation history books. They actually had Black Star as a black character, but someone somewhere said something, perhaps about selling, and they changed him to a more of an ambiguous kind of tanned, maybe native Indian / tan white man kind of character, and that was their issue. It would have been cool back then in the late 70s to see a kind of black superhero character, but it wasn't to be because of whatever happened. But once again, as we all know, the best way to see black people in any kind of media is for black people to do their own media, write their own narratives and own stations and own shows and own video channels and post their content on there. And hopefully those people be black Betterment minded. And if they are black Betterment minded, then there'll be more of a contribution towards seeing more black people on the screens and stuff. This is the idea. This is the idea that we're doing. Now, what we're going to do, let's just click on this history thing. We're just going to skip through it because I haven't seen it myself. I can't remember the last time I saw it. But as we saw, Bill Cosby was giving some facts. Now, we've thrown the links out there. Let's have a listen.
As for Sambo.
Jump in anytime you want if you wish to have anything.
Sambo,
It's your time, your
Professor
time.
Morrison. Sambo, Professor Cumminger.
All right.
As for Sambo, whose wrongs moved the abolitionists to wrath and tears, there is some reason to believe that he suffered less than any other class in the South from its peculiar institution. Peculiar institution means slavery.
Now, by all means, family, this obviously we know Bill Cosby's released, but some of you might have your own opinions. Some of you might wish to express your opinion. By all means, is the time. We're always trying to find coded ways to deal with challenges and misunderstandings. So if there's anything you would like to say, positive or potentially negative, but in a constructive way, about the Bill Cosby case, by all means, jump in. I've pushed forward the concept of black cherry picking, where you pick good points of a person and highlight that, especially in a time where black people have very minimal representation and constructiveness on a mainstream stage, from my opinion. But if you wish to jump in, the link is in the forum. Jump in and have your say. We're going to kind of listen to this one before we get people ready to jump in. We will we'll back and forth myself and these videos until 11. If no one jumps in, we'll call it a 1 hour show. So, but let's just have a sneak peek. Bon appetit. Go on.
Although brought to America by force, the incurably optimistic Negro soon became attached to the country and devoted to his white folks. Unquote. Those lines were written by two Pulitzer Prize-winning white Northern professors. Slavery. That's the place everybody likes to start Negro history. You have ignorant black men being brought over from Africa in chains. Terrible thing, slavery. But this way slavery is taught, it sort of takes the sting out of it. Because the way it's usually taught, people think that we Afro-Americans started with nothing but little grass skirts like the kids in the Tarzan movies. And though America gave us slavery, America kindly gave us religion and a lick or two of education. And when we get more jobs and more education, then up from slavery. But, we had something before we left Africa, something more than rhythm. I mean, we had a high culture. The culture was so high that great artists in the world are still borrowing from it. Now, here's a sculpture by an unknown African artist. And here's what Paul Klee took from him. Now, here's a work by an unknown black African, and Pablo Picasso liked what he saw. Another African design, and Modigliani swiped it, or he was influenced by it, or whatever polite word you want to use. Another black African artist, and Picasso didn't change it very much. I mean, when you look at this copying, you got to give us a little more than rhythm. You got to give us style. Now, if you tell the history of slavery right, you got a big problem on your hands. The trader didn't take some savage out of Africa. He took a human being. He sold him like an animal and separated him from his family. America invented the cruelest slavery in the history of the world. It broke up black families. after slavery was over, America kept breaking up the black man's family. And that's some awful history to teach. Now, if you want to look history right straight in the eye, you're going to get a black eye. Because it isn't important whether a few black heroes got lost or stolen or strayed in America's history textbooks. What's important is why they got left out. Now, this country has got a psychological history. There was a master race, there was a slave race. And though there isn't any political slavery anymore, those same old attitudes have hung around. I mean, the burning part of Burn, Baby Burn is right here in this classroom. We want to thank Mrs. Lovely Billups and the whole gang here at fourth grade for the brilliant and intelligent artwork that they've done here to make this whole broadcast sing. I want you guys to keep pretending that I'm not here. You're doing a great job, and just keep on drawing and reading and writing and doing what you have to do, because I'm going to talk about some other kids. Not you, Mary, John, and Bob. These are kids from other schools. Did you know in some states it used to be against the law to teach blacks to read or write? Nowadays we're getting these integrated schoolrooms, and most people think that if we get enough teaching and enough jobs, everything is going to take care of itself. But there is a scar of history running right through kids as young as these. It tears you up if you know how to look at drawings kids make, because kids shouldn't know much about history and anything about discrimination. I mean, nobody hates little black kids, but why do some of them cause so much trouble? And if you ask black and white children to draw themselves, or trees, or houses, some strange things happen. We asked some ordinary white kids from ordinary families to make some drawings for us. Like, well, let's call him John. John's white. We asked him to draw himself. This is...
Let me turn my microphone on. All right. Yeah, so as you can see, quite heavy hitting, Bill back in the day, trying to give some knowledge and all good stuff. I think for the most part within the black community, in the African American community, I think he was generally quite popular. I think where he started going around from outside of this court case stuff, take or give, was he did a speech. I think it was called the pound cake speech. But I think some black people thought he was being very judgmental. I have a 3-minute clip here for you. I wonder if I can just share that. Let me Bill Cosby pound cake speech. Let me make sure there's not George S. Brown, blah blah blah. All right, let's see if we can share that. Share screen. To be honest, I don't think I've even heard it properly, to be honest, right? So let me see what all the fuss was about. We go to stop share screen. Share screen, quick. And then let's see if we can find that somewhere. Where is it? It's there. Look at that. Let's reverse that. A lot of stuff up there, blah, blah, blah. Okay, show info. Reverse this. We can hear that. Let me turn it up. Go. What did he say?
In the old days, you couldn't book it because behind every drawn shade was an eye. And before your mother got off the bus into the house, she knew exactly where you had gone, who had gone into the house. Parents don't know that today. I'm talking about these people who cry when their son is standing there in an orange suit. Where were you when he was 2? Where were you when he was 12? Where were you when he was 18? And how come you don't know he had a pistol? These are not political criminals. These are people going around stealing Coca-Cola. People getting shot in the back of the head over a piece of pound cake. Then we all run out and we're outraged. Oh, the cops shouldn't have shot him. The hell was he doing with the pound cake in his hand? Brown versus the Board of Education is no longer the white person's problem. We've got to take the neighborhood back. We've got to go in there. It's right around the corner. It's standing on the corner. It can't speak English. It doesn't want to speak English. I can't even talk the way these people talk. Why you ain't where you live? Go wild west. I don't know who these people are. And I blamed the kid until I heard the mother talk. And then I heard the father talk. This is all in the house. Everybody knows it's important to speak English, except these knuckleheads. You can't land a plane with why you ain't where you can't be a doctor with that kind of crap coming out of your mouth. Why can't you hit the streets? Why can't you clean it out yourself? It's our time now, ladies and gentlemen. It is our time. And I have good news for you. It's not about money. It's about you doing something that ordinarily we do. It is somebody else's business. It's time for you to not accept this language that these people are speaking, which will take them nowhere. What the hell good is...
So those know, this is the Pound Cake speech happened in 2004. This is a speech where he was quite critical, and this is where some black people thought he went too far. You know, this is where case study in Bill Cosby moment. As you know, this week he was released from jail. I'm sure people have their opinion on that.
Brown versus the Board of Education if nobody wants it. I mean, this is the future, and all of these people who've lined up and done whatever, they've got to be wondering, what the hell happened? Brown versus the Board of Education. These people who marched and were hit in the face with rocks and punched in the face to get an education, and we got these knuckleheads walking around, don't want to learn English. When you go to the church, look at the stained glass things of Jesus. Look at them. Is Jesus smiling? Not in one picture. So tell your friends, let's try and do something. Let's try and make Jesus smile. Let's start parenting. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so that was Bill Cosby doing the Pound Cake speech. A lot of people thought that was a bit problematic. Stop screen. Hold on, stop screen. Yep, and then where's the other one? Share screen again. This speed of this thing. Don't show this again. It keeps popping up. Where it is. Voila. Oh, I think that's the right one. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it is. Hey. All right, so family, I'm only dedicating 1 hour of me this week, unless of course you guys want to jump in. I will put the link. Oh, is that? It is. Yeah, it is big. I will put the link here. If anyone has anything that we should talk about, it doesn't have to be about Bill Cosby or the hats scenario. Let me put it on the thing so you can see. Oh, no, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. There you go. So, family, if you got anything you want to see, now time, because in 7 minutes' time, we'll be logging off. That's right. We'll be logging off. But if you guys jump on, we will give you an extra hour, as is a tradition and culture. So what have we, just to round up while people ponder if they're going to jump in or not, what we discovered today? Well, basically that we're trying to establish, you know, and I guess you could interject any names you want here. You know, there's many black master teachers, celebrities, personalities who at a certain point dedicate certain time to black people. Then, you know, maybe certain things come out about them. That might be true or not true. If it is, let's go for the standpoint. If it is true or not true, it's hard to know. But then, you know, sometimes we feel a way that there's this person doing very constructive stuff for the community, but there's this information on them. How do we deal with it? I say that we push forward a black cherry picking social concept where we mainly focus on the good. We try to reform the bad, but we push forward the constructive things people do. And try to help them work on the negative aspect, and then we went through some of the contributions Bill Cosby did. We started with the documentary. We showed he was given certain facts that most other mainstream news wouldn't really cover in that way, which was beneficial for the African American community in those days. We also show that generally black people tend to be represented very misfortunately and unconstructively. When it comes to cartoon media, Bill Cosby got a cartoon of the Fat Albert Show, and he was educational, comedy, funny, family filled, and didn't focus on mistreating people, this kind of stuff. So that's another contribution that he did. And as we all know, as we show some clips from the Cosby Show, and with the Cosby Show, what did we see? We saw a reference between Stanford and Son. Now, if I click on Stanford, I might say, is it Steps? I keep saying the English one. It's Stepson and Son, right? It's Stepson. It's Stanford. Oh, what was it called? Yeah, I'm getting silly now. Is it Stanford? Is it Stanford? I should know this, but I don't. Shame on me. Stanford and Son. It is Stanford. It's Stanford and Son. Sanford, not Stanford. Sanford. I'm getting, see, when you got two different versions, they're going to correlate in your head at the same time. So Stanford and Son, and we're looking at some of the clips. So as you can tell, no matter where we click, you're always going to get a very aggressive tone.
What did y'all do to her? What did we do to her? You mean, what did she do to us? She had the nerve to call us witches. And she was right. You three ugly witches.
As you see, this kind of tone.
You married your husbands and turned them into frogs. Get out of here. Get to jumping. Get out of here. Fred Sanford, the wrath of God will strike you down. And this Louisville slugger will knock you out.
Well, yeah, very funny stuff, I'm sure. But as you can see, back-to-back aggressive black man, black woman confrontation, this dysfunctional family, very comedy, but this was a week-to-week, very famous show, probably one of the most famous at the time. But then obviously you compare that to something like.
He made a sequel, Mrs. Old Yeller, and Mrs. Old.
Well, they're much more humane, as you can see, and more smiling, more disagreements with smiley faces. Let me say greetings. There you go. Welcome, family. We're showing the differences for those who are joining now between a show called Stanford and Sons and the Cosbys, and the energy that is produced in it. And we're showing that at this particular clip now, the family are displeased. Well, not displeased. They're a bit upset about their daughter's boyfriend critiquing their work, but yet they still manage to have a smile and a kiss and a giggle. That kind of. You go from that to this.
You were a deadbeat the day my sister married you, and you still a deadbeat today. Listen, Esther, now you know good and well the day I married your sister, I was loaded. Yeah, you was loaded all right. You were so drunk you fell on the preacher. But I had to get drunk to look at your ugly family. Don't you talk about my family. I'll talk about your family. Listen, for years, people were going around saying, black is beautiful. They took one look at your family and said, hold everything. Well, that's something you wouldn't understand. We have inner beauty. You have what? Inner beauty. Well, you better put your liver where your face is. You are crude and evil, and most of all, you stupid. How'd you like one across your lips? Come on, try. Come on, now. Come on, Stumpy. Stumpy, I'm tall enough to give you 3 of these in your nose. Come on. Oh, no, you won't. Yes, I will. Oh, no, you won't.
Yeah, so you see the styling difference between the Cosbys and Stanford and Son, so this is, I guess, what Cosby didn't want to necessarily have. He wanted a bit more less confrontational kind of comedy. So this is my conclusion and summary of Bill Cosby's contribution to the black community. I shall post one more time. So, guys, we're about to go in literally, it's technically now, but in literally 2 minutes I'll go. So there's anyone else who wants to jump in and either talk about Bill Cosby, the hair incident as you know, unfortunately they've banned the hair nets in the Olympic swimming. If you want to join and give your opinion on it, or you might have something, maybe some of stuff. Apparently, there's Black Lives Matter issue in the Olympics. You can't support that, or you get banned. And also the fastest woman in the world at the moment. She is it Sapphire? Her name is. I'm probably bad with names, but I think she might potentially be banned because I think her mother passed away, and to deal with the grief of her mother passing, she might have smoked a joint, marijuana of some kind. I'm not too sure the ins and outs of it. But apparently someone smelled something, or maybe some test was done. And yeah, they see you can't come back apparently. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully they can overrule that. I think it'd be very harsh to have the fastest woman in the planet not be at the Olympics, but you never know. But yeah, so anything you want to talk about, jump in. But if not, that's fine. We shall end. Very quick case study this week. And let me jump back onto the thing. This is a topic: what constructive things did Bill Cosby do for Black people, and why Afro swimming hats are banned? Why are Afro swimming hats banned from the Olympics? All right, and we also came across the concept of black cherry picking, which is what? Which is basically just picking the beneficial, logical stuff that Black people do, and disregard maybe some of the potential stuff that isn't constructive. If it's been proved at all, you never know. Yeah, it is. We went through the case of Bill Cosby. Now look at some Black people. Well, that's last week's stuff. Let's make sure there's anything new in there. Nope, everything's good. Yeah, that's all last week's stuff. So yeah, we're good. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna say hopefully you've enjoyed my 1 hour sprint. It went by really fast. It really does, much. This show's usually 1 hour to 2 hours, and it does go by quick. We always open up for people to jump in. This week, everyone might be very busy at work, or maybe then they don't have much to talk about Bill Cosby. Maybe it's a controversial thing. I've tried to approach it from a constructive angle, as in what could we learn, that's constructive to learn from, But anyway, so I guess that's me. Let me put a nice smiley face in the group. Hello, and put a nice smiley face. Voila, my smiley face, and say goodbye. So that's this week's show. Next week, who knows what the topic is. If you would like to come on the show, if you've got any topics you would like to push forward, by all means, message me at RapRaven on Instagram or any kind of show, or in the comments in this particular section. Just say anything you want to run a show with, and we'll see what we can run a show about. Also, by all means, the idea is, if possible, you're more than welcome to open the show, maybe have a half an hour section, or even start up a kind of like four-way, three-way debate about a topic where solution is key. And I keep forgetting it, but I will do it more so in the future. Please forgive me. There is a dedicated page. Did I write it down here somewhere? Let me see. Where's my dedicated? Ah, man. Is that dedicated page? I'll see if I can find it. I read down there somewhere. That's the thing. There's so much links everywhere. It gets a bit ridiculous. So basically, there's actually dedicated Black Betterment page. Yeah, let me check. We've got a dedicated. This might be it. Let me just check out. Let me 17 seconds. Then we've got a dedicated Black Betterment page. That the idea is for me to. Oh yeah, there it is. Magic. So let me put that in there. Black Betterment page. So if you guys want, in the link at the moment is a Black Betterment page. Click on that and follow the direct page. Because the idea is to set up a whole channel dedicated to Black Betterment. Have different contributors and hosts. Have different kind of shows. Maybe one focus on food, one focus on culture, one focus on solutions, one focus on, who knows, we'll dictate what we need to do. Hopefully the most flamboyant, fantastic host and people can jump on, and we can actually control the narrative and all that good fantastic stuff, and make content that really helps Black people move forward. But that with don't really click on that link. But for this week's show, I hope you had a very quick learning show. If you would like to know where I got the videos for, just put a message, I'll give you the links. But that is the end of our show this week. Let me just make let me put that there, sorry. Yeah. And I hope we catch you. We've gone past the hour by 10 minutes now, I believe. So well, it says 10 minutes there, but it's 25 minutes. Yeah. So I hope you have a good one, and check you guys next week. Have a good one. Very quick show. Voila. Boom, 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 boom.